little bit of this. So this is Turbo Thralls, which are based around the card Frozen Thrall, the landmark here. Countdown 8. When it eventually counts down, it finishes summoning an 8/8 with Overwhelm. In addition to playing 3 copies of that, you've also got Lissandra, who summons a Frozen Thrall when she comes into play on 3. And then we've got lots of cards like Clockwork Curator, Time in a Bottle, and then at the very top end of the curve, we've even got some copies of the Clock Hand here to let us summon lots of things to make 8/8s very quickly. So this deck's pretty good against a lot of the aggro decks. You've got a lot of Avalanches and Blighted Ravines and Ice Shards and stuff. So let's try some games with this and see how it goes. Yeah, I looked at a bunch of lists people were playing, and a lot of them were only playing on one of Taliyah. Born and Dude Light. Probably don't want this in this matchup. All of these sound good, though. Frozen Thrall and 1 in Darklord Inquisitor in the opener both sound great. The Runeterra's community response to infinite things is so fucking weird to me coming from Magic. I saw another content creator complaining about being held hostage on their stream by someone who was like looping this infinite combo thing, and it's like, just concede. You know you're dead, just scoop. Don't make them kill you. The only one holding hostage is you. They know that they can see. I genuinely am not sure that they do. I'm actually not certain that they understand they can. So this is going to 3. Okay, so I want this on top because then next turn I get to Taliyah, copy this, play. Like, this is like our nut draw, right?
Keep your eyes on the horizon and your feet on the ground.
I wonder if they have Darklord Inquisitor here.
It's calling the
insert Spider-Man meme here. Ooh. Wait, does Promising Future not stack? I don't think it stacks, right? Give an allied landmark, my countdown of activates twice. It does? Really? Okay, so it's gonna make 4 then? Is that how that works?
like threading a needle. If only you were made of rock.
Hey, do you have Darklord Inquisitor, or are we done here? They do. Okay. Some Thrall on Thrall violence, chat.
Kill, fight, die.
Kill, fight, die. Kill, fight, die. Hey, how many frostbites you got? I got one. Sure. This lets me trample for one a whole bunch of times. Seems good for me. Okay, and now I get to play this, which summons a frozen Thrall. And then next turn I play Clockwork Hand with an instant Sentry.
All who fear and love our dark lady. Fear, love.
Fear and love the Dark Lady, chat. So if they have a Lissandra, we're dead here to Watcher. Oh wait, the Watcher doesn't just kill us anymore. Yay! Watcher not killing us. Yay!
Come on, there's so much to see. Together, we are stronger than stone, faster than the wind. So we're falling rocks. Hey, we're in.
Oh, you can write the Watcher skill. That's true. Let's go to 9 here, right? I guess I could do this in these trade. Yeah, let's trade these. So that goes to 3. Oh, is it bugged in the middle? I think it's stuck in the middle. Alright, so now alright, they're just conceding. Alright. What a silly mirror. Stuck in the middle with you. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Man, it's so weird to me that there's only 2 of all these cards at the top. I guess they're good in different spots. They all have similar effects. Advance your landmarks 1 round. I can't imagine this card is good. I feel like this has to be worse than the other bigger ones at the top end. Part of me wants another Taliyah, because she was real good. I forgot to fill my water this morning. Tilt. To run and do that. Yeah, I can see the fact that Dark Lord makes a Thrall being awkward. Yeah, it seems really good, right? Because we can do this, bank spell mana on 2, do this on 3, and then on 4 we can play this to advance Lissandra's Thrall, and then play this on 5 to get to 8/8 pretty quickly.
All things grow cold.
All things grow cold. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Right? So, Dark Lord Inquisitor just says, if they're 4 or less, they pop at end of turn. So he doesn't actually advance them faster. For the 7 months tour guide, welcome back. Yeah, I'm doing one Runeterra segment at the start of the stream this week, and I'm doing one Runeterra segment at the end of the stream this week. So we'll see what metrics look like from those. don't know. Regardless of when we do it, the viewer count's low, so we're gonna play it. Might as well fit it in where we want. I think I'm chumping one of these. What's going on, Demian? You got her. She's dead. Honestly, them burning a thermo beam on Lissandra there before we drop the Dark Lord is really good. If we can dodge a second beam here, or dodge like a mystic shot into a... Dodge mystic shot into a thing. Scorched Earth, sure. I don't want to attack with this. I don't want to lose it to like mystic shot. I don't know if my thing is working and uploading them to Mobilytics properly. Is it? No, yeah, it's not uploading for some reason. I tried to play with it the other day and I couldn't figure it out. I don't understand why it's uploading to my Magic, or it's uploading to the Twitch overlay properly, but not uploading there. So we have to go ahead and advance that to 4. So this will pop off into another 8/8 for next turn.
Clumsy footwork.
Do. I don't, and I also don't think the overlay works on mobile, which is so weird to me. I can't. It's such a big oversight on Mobilytics' part that like their game has probably more mobile players than desktop players. That their overlay doesn't work on mobile. Well, might just get burned out here. I guess I can open on Tavern Keeper. I could just chill. We could, like, go Tavern Keeper into Blighted Ravine, and then, like, pass not attacking. I kind of like that, actually.
Welcome to the tipsy hour.
Like, just clean their board out and buffer our life up here.
Let's see all of it.
And then if I drop a Lissandra, or actually if I drop either of these next turn, she'll make a Frozen Thrall, and then I could do this on the following turn to have 3 8/8s to attack with, or 3 8 overwhelms to attack with. Yeah, I think I just pass here and let this hit everything. I think they'll open attacks with this. If they don't open, I get to drop Lissandra and get tough on my Nexus, which would be nice.
I will remind the world of true power. I will bury the world in ice.
So she has tough, and now our Nexus has tough. Just concedes. Alright, deal.
The Frost Guard rule the Freljord.
Rule the Freljord. Watchers are evil void monsters. I believe that's accurate. I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep both of these while mulligan these, looking for things to advance my Thrall. Nice. Nice.
They forgot. You cannot.
The symbols under the champions. Oh, they're a cosmetic thing that show how much you played with the cards. I don't think I want to play this to trade. I think I want to save this to advance Lissandra's after the fact. Could be wrong, though.
Ages pass, yet I remain.
Am I supposed to promising future this one now and like go all in on this one? That could be the case.
Arda's gonna make a meal of them.
I think that's what I'm supposed to do here. We'll clockwork this one down to 3, and then next turn we can promising future into time in a bottle.
I cannot go.
And then I bank 1 spell mana, and next turn I have 5, so I can do both of these. This will clean the board out nicely. Sure. Empty board here seems real good for us.
Feel the power of true ice.
We could promising futures again, but I think I'm supposed to just crack them for 16 this turn, right?
Will know my language.
Honestly, Three Sisters sounds great. Having a frostbite should let me race whatever they have going on. Now Lissandra's leveled.
More than mortal, I am iceborn. Secret by force.
I don't think Viego leveling up is going to be something we worry about this game. Probably going to be over before that's relevant.
Leave your bags at the door.
Leave your bags at the door. Got him. gonna be real good for next turn too. So ship it.
You matter so little.
Hey, it's still dead. I says they're dead. Click OK.
You will serve.
Their death serves greater purpose.
Their death serves greater purpose. So this seems pretty good, huh? Got a little bit of interaction, sweepers for the aggressive decks. Got a good solid proactive strategy to rail into the mid-range decks. Avalanches will get put to the test here. Actually be okay. You definitely want to keep these three. I'm mulligan this, looking for a way to double this up. A true skill game. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was.
Tea for two.
Huh? Try the aggro deck. I'm gonna pass.
Without a sound.
They could have twin disciples here, but getting a twinsies off. This seems fine. If I frostbite this, it doesn't count as it having struck, right? What if I just let it level, and I'm like promising futures into clockwork time in a bottleneck's turn? That's probably the play.
Only the worthy survive.
Yeah, I don't really have a strong desire to play Lurk. That does not sound like my cup of tea.
Would you look at this place?
Blighted Ravine's actually probably good with the leveled Lissandra we're gonna have coming, right? I mean, like, the rolling d20s, the decks that are rolling d20s aren't pretending to be competitive, right? Whereas, like, things like the Kinku, like, variant-powered mechanics like dice rolls are less offensive when they're put in places that are clearly, like, this isn't supposed to be, like, something that people are doing. So where the variance is definitely really matters. Now, Runeterra's format is very, very diverse. So, I actually don't think it's fair to say that Magic's historic format is overly saturated with the same decks. In fact, I think that's just, like, objectively wrong. Runeterra is very comparable to historic, in that there's a ton of different decks that people are playing at any given point. Their format is very varied. That being said, it also has a number of parallels to Best of One Magic, where there's some matchup polarization, and you do have some feel bads for matchup polarization. It's definitely true. Thank you for the 3 entire years of support, Slewy. I appreciate that. Welcome back. One thing that Runeterra does that Magic doesn't, from a best of one perspective, is Runeterra, what's what I'm searching for? Runeterra shows you what champions your opponents are playing when the match starts. So you can mulligan intelligently in your best of one game, which is a welcome improvement from Magic best of one. So there's definitely some matchup polarization, but you do at least get to make good mulligans game one. I think I'm full mulliganing, looking for an early Thrall. This is early-ish. Yes, Runeterra does not have resource variance. In fact, Runeterra goes further. Runeterra goes further than, like, Hearthstone even does with mitigating variance, and there's no curve variance in Runeterra either for the most part. Because you see here, like, I don't have any plays on turn 1 or 2 here, but I'm gonna get to save this mana into spell mana, which is great. Just lovely.
Secrets hidden by
Carrots can fly, Rib.
Okay.
That's really good, because it means they're gonna get to quick attack this down. See if they open attacks here or not. I'm gonna frostbite this one. Lets me block something else here inside of combat. So yeah, they're gonna attack this in and hook this here because this will gain quick attack, so this will die. And then I can trade this here at least. And we'll go ahead and do time in a bottle here so we can predict for next turn. Yeah, that's pretty good. So this is going to 5. And then I can kindly Tavern Keeper to stabilize my life total a little bit. Promising Futures this.
Out here, you're moving or you're dead.
And then we can actually Taliyah this into Dark Lord Inquisitor and just get set up to go real big here.
Come on, Rib.
Let's talk about your dad. Who's gonna close up?
No, it only gives it +1. So 2 Thralls don't kill them next turn. So I think I Taliyah this. And then next turn I could Dark Lord Inquisitor to get 4. Oh, the Dark Lord Inquisitor means that... Oh, the Dark Lord Inquisitor would put a thing out, so I would actually get 4, I'd only get 3. It's actually really awkward. Alright, maybe we just do this then. And get 2 here. I see why there's only 2 copies of this card in the deck now. Because this makes the Thrall when it comes into play, which takes a bench space. You only have 6 things on your bench, and whatever the newest thing being created is gets pushed out.
Bring me tea to gain the strength of rivers.
I'm gonna do this before we attack. Just some of their chump blockers.
Saw that a mile away.
Wrench.
And done.
I guess this lets these trade.
You lost.
This exchange seems great for us.
Blade, sand, and treasure. Don't ask for more. You've got a problem, I've got a price.
So this is gonna summon 2 more friends here in a second.
Business as usual.
I remember someone else was asking earlier about things that feel a little eh. So this is Spell Shield. I can't target it with anything. It's double attack, so it's hitting me for 22, and it's elusive, so I can't block it. I played Zoe Fizz recently, and it didn't feel terrible, Dr. Mister. In terms of being a tempo deck and punking people out. I'll mulligan one of these. Yeah, one thing that's definitely true is that, you know, like, and it's even true of this deck too, right? Like, our deck has a little bit of interaction in it, but it's also pretty proactive as well. Something that's true in best of 1 card games in general is that unless the interactive deck is overbearing, you are generally speaking better off being proactive than reactive. That's definitely big true of Runeterra. If you look at the decks that are consistently good, and there's really proactive decks.
The desert by my side.
So we had a promising futures. We're just playing this as a blocker. Then we're gonna work on ticking this down along with promising futures on it. Make some 8/8 friends. Runeterra does have some stark contrast compared to the moto we often do in the mornings. You're not wrong. I think I'm just banking spell mana this turn. Pretty happy with that trade. And then next turn, we'll promising futures into time in a bottle. Or maybe I'll just get this going. Right, this game might last long. They might be able to fight through 2 8/8s, so getting this down to tick after the fact sounds nice. He's countdown every turn. Was Severe considered unplayable? I thought she was pretty good in the the deck that she's played in now basically was playable before her buff, right? I wasn't playing a ton then, but I was under the impression that it had shown up in that beforehand. They finished the sand set and they finished the sand set and they released a mini card expansion. So there's like 8 new champions since the last time I had played a ton. Well, so based on the most recent metagame report that was posted, Dr. Mr. Punny, the Lee Sin deck actually does not have a very good win rate, which I guess doesn't surprise me because all of the decks other than Lee Sin tend to have very what's it called? Tend to be pretty linear, and they tend to race the Lee Sin deck nicely. So here's a question. Do I use the time in a bottle to pop this off next turn, or do I simply Blighted Ravine to get the way kind of cleared out and set myself up to have 3 of them in 2 turns? I think I kind of like playing Blighted Ravine here and then setting up for a big attack on my next attack step, because this will pop off naturally next turn, and then this plus this can pop this one off. So I think I do this. And this does 2 at the start of their turn to everything. This also stops them from deploying more. Yep, that's scary. It's a little punishing for my line here. So I kind of gave them time to develop and set up their hero, give them a reason to sacrifice something.
See what we see, soldier.
This is 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. I might pass and see what they do. If they develop more, we can avalanche. If they just attack, that's fine too. And honestly, I think if they're in a position that they want to pass, that's fine for us. Still just taking 6. Got him. This is focus speed, so it happens and then I get to attack right away. Rate of negation on top sounds great to play around an atrocity. Attack you for 24. And you're dead. Great. Be aggressive, chat. Be proactive. Thanks for the follow, Oaken Dog. Good morning. It's been doing good, Listic. Finding, like, I had to, readjusting my expectations a little bit was key. I definitely find I have more fun playing decks that are proactive in Runeterra these days. And, like, refocusing away from trying to play mid-range and control has made me a lot happier. Also, auto-conceding to Lissandra because it's a frustrating dogshit deck to play against also helps make the game a lot more fun. So anytime there's Lissandra on the other side of the board, we just do that. I think it would be a misnomer to call our deck a control deck. I think our deck is a combo deck that has some interactive elements to set up its combo. Yes, Lissandra is a combo deck that is basically impossible to interact with, and you have to race it. Yeah. Think of it like they put Embercleave in the same color as Counterspell. Is a good way to think about Lissandra. I think they're probably a turbo level, these decks, so I think Avalanche is probably decent to keep here.
Let's get it, crew.
Yeah, looks like that. That assessment is probably accurate.
In range.
So both of their champions level when they've damaged my Nexus 5 times, so I imagine we're going to see a lot of that.
Ye's talking without me. There's plenty of killing left.
Yikes. I think I just Avalanche here. Their regions don't have a ton of pump spells. So this is fast speed. So even if they open attacks next turn, Ice Shard gets to clean these out. Yep, and they're pointing my Nexus. I agree, the League IP is so well done. Easily one of the best developed IPs in existence. I don't think I want to Ice Shard just to gain 3 here, because I'm still going to take the hit. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and save it for down the line.
I'm not greedy. My friends, though.
Blighted Ravine's pretty decent. I actually have 8 mana here. See, I'm gonna Promising Futures this to start. Maybe they'll deploy something and then we'll Blighted Ravine.
I don't change fate, and I can see it.
Yeah, perfect. So this cleans out their whole board. The Ruined King game on stream. Yeah, probably. That's supposed to be a single-player story-driven game, right? That's exactly the style of game I tend to play. So this puts Frozen Thrall to 3, and then it goes to 2 on our turn, and then Time in a Bottle pops it off next turn.
Born for conquest. Sisters.
I'm gonna take Avalanche on top, because that way, if they block this, Avalanche can potentially finish this. If Ice Shard 2 if they level. Yeah, if they have another warning shot here, we're just dead. Yeah. Well, shit.
My selection speaks for itself.
Bilgewater is mine and mine alone. Neither the flames nor the
Yeah, just hard locked out of the game. And that, like, that game, I think, is a great example of why calling the deck that we're playing control deck is a huge misnomer. Because, like, the opponent just had a way to lock out our combo, and our combo deck couldn't break their lock because we're not a control deck. We don't have interactive elements. And a mulligan these looking for a Thrall. This deck is a control deck so far as it has some minorly controlling elements to help you stay alive to set your combo to go. But we are 100% a combo deck. Really unfortunate mulligans here. Or mulligans here for us. Our hand just, like, literally doesn't do anything. I kept just this, but... yeah, yikes. Man, this is just, like, impressively awkward, huh? I'm all alone, there's no one here beside me.
The whole world.
Man, what are the odds of this? I don't think that's true. We've been playing this deck for like almost an hour, and this is the first time this has happened to us. You have what? You have 8 cards that make Thralls? So that's a pretty healthy number. Or what's the Hyper Geo? I'm gonna run the Hyper Geo on, let's say you mulligan 3 cards. What are your odds of having one in your opener? The stat check calculator is not loading. Origin error. Awkward. I think very similar to Magic as a best of 1 game, Control just doesn't really do well in best of 1 formats. I think Runeterra is similar enough to Magic, that's true here as well. I think, especially, let me rephrase, especially in Runeterra formats that are healthy and varied, Control is going to struggle without a best of 3 setting. And even pick ban is a fine way, like, the best of 3 Runeterra doesn't even necessarily have to be best of 3 with sideboards. Like, even pick ban is fine for this style of deck, or control decks to be fine in. They just need a setting where Yeah, but those aren't control decks, obtuse. Like they're control asterisk conditional. So I agree with you that if you stick a proactive combo in your deck and you basically play Scape Shift and not a control deck, like your deck's fine. And I mean, honestly, if you look back at every deck in Runeterra's history, like, has there ever been a good deck that's just like a dedicated control deck? They're all combo control decks, right? Like they all have something that's just like a Scape Shift style top end, for lack of a better term. I'm just gonna play this as a game 2 at this point. Yeah, Spooky Karma is kind of not combo control deck. Was that deck ever considered good? That deck was never considered good in the time I was playing Runeterra.
Surrender to me.
Alright, believe it or not, the game where we went 15 cards without seeing a Thrall, our Terminal Thralls deck wasn't very good. Yeah, someone said Ash Lux. Ash Lux had a combo finish too. Like, that was why that deck was good. Like, Ash combo killed people. You go back and check my videos. I like that deck. And for the record, I'm not saying that combo control is bad. Like, combo control decks can be sweet to play. I'm just saying, like, in best of one, you need to be proactive. Without having access to a sideboard or being able to ban bad matchups, being proactive is king. That's not a critique or to say that these decks shouldn't exist or are bad. It's just an observation of how things play out. Yeah, Ash Lux was a sweet deck. I like that deck a lot. It was a lot of fun. Okay.
Ages pass, yet I remain.
I remain.
Arda's gonna make a meal of them.
Beep, beep, beep. Okay. So we get Promising Futures this one. Then we get to Taliyah next turn. Do I want to Taliyah next turn? Or do I want to advance it first? Maybe I want to wait for it to advance a little bit first. Let's do this. So it sets us up for this Ice Shard next turn.
Arda's gonna make a meal of them. So it's on 5. So these two let this pop next turn. I probably want to Taliyah and get 4 of them, though, against their deck, huh? The question is what I want to do right now. I think it's just Ice Shard. Just clean these out. Wrap them up tight.
Alright, well now we gotta do that.
Hunt down. think I need to just pop this turn. Popping it also means that, means that she levels. Raid negation sounds great, so I don't get punked out by an atrocity. You will do as I command. The Turbo Thralls deck has been cute, Dr. Corvex.
This one's a fighter.
If they go to 2 here, Blighted Ravine is lethal. Alright, so they're dead. I mean, mid-range decks being good against aggro is something that's true in most card games, right? Like, that's true in Magic as well. Yeah, I'd take a Runeterra deck submission, Dr. Mr. Punny. I'm planning to do more Runeterra Thursday afternoon. Probably just gonna do this deck for another half hour or so today before we roll into some Magic Arena. But I would definitely take something to play Thursday afternoon. That was Timo Zed, awful. I missed on a Kinku, and I missed on a, what was it? I missed on a Kinku, and I missed on a, I had 28 mushrooms in a 30 card deck and missed on one for lethal, and I just like rolled off of it. It's like, nope, seen enough. My card games have enough variance without putting those cards in my deck. I should have known better than to play an Allegiance card with 7 misses. Oh man, are we gonna have a second game where we just don't have... Man, it's happening again, chat! Oh no! Oh. Feels bad, man. Am I supposed to play one of these as a 2/2? I probably am.
Rivers shape the land and give it life.
I've got your back.
Yeah, big time wrong half problems here.
My shield is yours.
Gross.
You're in over your head.
Correct, Dr. Mister. Same as Arena. I'm gonna Frostbite this one because it uses my resources and it denies them the ability to draw a spell by hitting us with it. It does a barrier, so we're not blocking inside of combat. Won't kill it anyways. We clearly need more Thralls. I don't know.
I don't actually know how unlucky we're getting here. It's gotta be pretty extreme, right? Like missing an 8 of and 13 cards 2 games in a row is like pretty unfortunate.
A gift from the river folk. What form will the waters take?
Bring the others. I'll hammer them.
Leave your backs in the door. I heard the news. Where is my son?
Hey, maybe the rule will just be if we don't have a Thrall by 5, we'll just concede from now on. It's probably a good threshold. Probably don't mind Bladed Ravine in this matchup. I'm mulligan these two looking for some cards to work with the Thrall. That kind of counts. Or how aggressive they are. Spiders. Spiders are relatively mid-rangey cards. They could still be on the mid-rangey side.
Ages pass, yet I remain.
Let's get this down. Okay. Yeah, the attack there is actually probably pretty good. Deal. This card is much less good in their deck than it is in ours. That's fine, right? I have another one. Well, now do I just do this? I think I do this. I think I still do this, actually. They have second Scorched Earth. That's a little unfortunate. Sure.
Their death serves greater purpose.
Does Blighted Ravine trigger Plunder? I believe Plunder is worded that they have to deal damage to me. Not that I just have to take damage. Well, the bad news is we're never gonna rank up because of Lee Sin. The good news is I don't have to play against Lee Sin because I can concede. Yeah, yeah, I agree, dude. Like, the fact that they hit the Blighted Ravine instead of our Thralls is a win with the Scorched Earth. Love it. Mulligan this one. Honestly, I might cut the Preservariums from this deck. Like, someone mentioned it maybe being a little knee-jerky to put more Thralls in, but the Preservariums, I kind of just want them to be Thralls, at least in Prevalent and Diamond. It has been in my experience. It's probably the champion I've played against the most since coming back to Runeterra, which is rather frustrating, because I really hate it. It does not create interesting or fun games, in my opinion. I believe in the metagame report that Cosmic posted this week, it was the second most played champion, second most played archetype. But that was just for Arashikin Lee, it wasn't for, it didn't include Lee Zoe, which also sees play. So, do I want to spread out the countdown love, or do I want to go all in on one of them? I think I'm going to wait to make a decision. I'm going to go ahead and kindly Tavern Keeper here, and just pass. This will go to 4 on their turn. I could play this, and turn this to 1, and then this will pop on my next turn. I can do this on this one now, and then Time in the Bottle makes it pop. So this lets them challenge our stuff. We're gonna go for this one. Yeah, the value Viego creates in just getting bigger as an endgame threat and making the Enroaching Mist is both very good. Huh? So this into this gives me another one for next turn. I don't know if I want to attack this turn or not. Feel like I do. Lets me predict as well, which is nice. Yeah, I'll take the Time in a Bottle. Because Time in a Bottle plus Clockwork lets me pop off the one with this next turn, which is nice. Might have also been wrong to play this because it queues up these.
Entomb might let us steal this. Honestly, Invasive Hydravine seems better than Viego in a lot of situations that I've seen. We just do this and hope that it Entomb lets us get lethal. It's not gonna be enough, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm done with this one. We had some high rolly games at the start, but I think that's just exactly what they were. I'm glad we played this because it seemed kind of interesting, but it just seems like another kind of linear thing that just like either gets to pop off and do its thing or just kind of flops around. It doesn't really do much. I feel like if I wanted to try and work on this deck, I would probably lean into trying to do what you're looking to do a little bit more consistently. Like I would cut these Presivariums, and honestly, the Ice Veil Archers did not feel that good against a lot of the aggro decks we played against. I think someone said, what's it called? Thrall. There's another card that makes Thralls. I kind of... Show unowned. Yeah, honestly, this card doesn't sound terrible. I feel like I'd play one or two of these to have more cheap ways to get Thralls into play, and then I'd probably just play like another Preservationist or whatever this card's called to have those things pop off more consistently. And then honestly, one of the ones that advances all your things one is probably fine. And imagine possibilities, but the interactive part of this deck felt consistently mediocre and bad. Except for the sweepers. The sweepers felt fine. And in part, these sweepers felt very reasonable because not only did they help you race the aggressive decks, but they also just took toughness off of your opponent's bigger blockers, which made your 8/8 overwhelms more likely to punch through and kill them. So I think I like this aspect of the interaction. I would lean into that and getting a couple more ways to get Thralls along with more ways to turbo them is definitely where I would want to be as opposed to playing mediocre interaction. Honestly, it might even be right to just like not play this flash freeze and just play the full 3 succumb to the cold. All right, at any rate, I'm gonna shift gears. We're gonna play some Magic Arena.